I'm Jim, JamesERadcliffe.com. Time and space, or time, how do we really look at it? We look at it as space, or do you look at it as on a heart monitor, like a straight line with increments in there when certain events and things took place? And then the other thing that we really want to make a note of today is money. Money. That's going to be important, right? The medium, what is money? The medium of exchange, in the simplest terms. In air conditioning and heating, specifically air conditioning, what is the simple definition? The mechanical transfer of heat, removing heat from one place to another. So it is with money. Is simply the medium of exchange. I learned that in economics in high school. What is a true value? In the corporation I used to work at, they had a whole department, and this was a huge computer corporation, Burroughs at the time. Burroughs Corporation was second only to IBM in the 70s. When I worked there in the 80s, still second only to IBM, and then started the transition, because when a computer companies, corporations, the whole market changed. PCs came into being, and back then we were just learning how to do PCs, like call them PCs, and clusters for the office computer was just evolving back then. And we had office computers, and you took a class at the end of the business day. And it was kind of cool. Remember that black screen with the green print, the green fonts, the green print, and then it all changed. And a lot of layoffs, mergers, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And here we are today. But they had a whole department called Value Added Marketing. And there's a whole concept, or a whole thing of value. What is true value? And so we look at money, and what is the true value of money? Probably you might say long range. We tend to look at it as immediate cash outlay, or as the term when you're looking at your HMO or your insurance. To those of us who have been employed for a while in the last 10 or 20 years, it's called out-of-pocket expenses. So when you go to the doctor, and what's your out-of-pocket? $10, $15, $35? So out-of-pocket cash is how we tend to look at something, what something costs when it's labeled, when it's out there, when it's on the internet, or whether it's on the shelf at the store. We tend to look at it as though it's on the shelf in the store. What is the out-of-pocket? What is the cash? What are we paying, even if it's on a debit card or with a charge card? So it's very important to kind of get an understanding of this. So we're going to look at that for a second. We'll look at time and space later, but it's going to affect what our view of the business model is. We're going to look at business models also. Our business as opposed to your primary business, the MLM, the multi-level marketing business, the network marketing business that you may be involved in or looking at or considering. Like dry erase. It's so easy to erase. So we got what is really out of pocket, true value. What is the cost? True or total is what it should say. Total cost. True value. Total cost. What is the total cost? Not just the out of pocket, but over time of a thing of investment. You have what's out of your pocket right there, and you have probably maybe a couple other little expenditures with it, a couple other little investments. But what's the full return? What comes back to you? So when you might buy something in the store and you have it, say this is the usual timeline here. You buy it in the store, you have it, it's done. Maybe it's something that's hard, it's on the shelf, and you use it a few times, and the value goes down, and it's finally thrown away. So perhaps these are measures of how valuable it is before it gets worn out and it's gone. So we may look at probably a good example is organic food. So you know that organic food has a high cost out of your pocket. Say that's how much it costs. And maybe it doesn't seem like you get very much when you compare it to in the regular retail store, and you get perhaps, a bigger basket, a bigger bag. Maybe this looks pretty much the same, but this circle is definitely bigger. That's how much it costs. And this costs a lot less. It's a smaller circle. Excuse me. I'm back. So it looks like you're getting more, but what are you really getting? Not very much. Bam. But in the more cost outlay for something organic down the road over a long period of time, so that line extends from the other picture all the way across to health. This is abbreviation for health. Good health, perhaps better health, taking calcium supplements, less muscle cramping, better muscular workout, protein instead of sugar, things more long-range carb, things like that. So if you take the whole gamut of vegetables and fruits, it's probably a much bigger cost than this guy down here where the fruit's bigger, because back here on the farm, it was pumped up with a bunch of chemicals so that when it got here, it was bigger and looked more impressive. But then again, you can look for clues. Is it as ripe? Is it picked too soon? Was it gassed? Did it ripen totally on the truck and shipping? Did it start out in the field green and then got to the shelf like bananas, yellow, still a little bit green, and you have to take them home and shelf them for a few days and they start to turn yellow a little bit more. So all these things come into play. What's the total cost not just out of your pocket in cash at the time? Because again, if you have to see the doctor more, that's more cash out of your pocket. So you don't look at just the one or two items that you have been buying, unless it's something, we just got chocolate cake crazy or something. So it's the sugar and the fats and the cake that is sticking to the ribs. So what we're looking in the business, of course, is your investment, and in the business model, the MLM, your primary business, perhaps, versus you. Your biz. Okay? You got the primary business, the MLM, the multi-level or network marketing business. which is probably really fantastic. Great vitamins and everything. Candles, you name it, juice, all kinds of stuff. But this is what we're focused on here. What we're looking at is your business, you. And that's what we are going to be moving towards and be focused on is your business, because primary businesses can come and go. Primary businesses, they may have, well, what you have is a product versus the comp plan. And some may have really great products, or the focus being on the product, what's in it, quality, ingredients, history, all that, and the comp plan. How soon does it pay out to enter cost and payout? How soon does it begin to pay? How soon do you get big money? We'll just call it what it is. Car, all that stuff. Okay? So the focus being on how the product is also packaged. So let's look at that. Packaged to market. So, and that's also important for you, for what your business is how is it packaged to market? Again, it's marketing. So if the product's really not packaged to market, what can you push? What can you move? What can you share? And then the plan of the business itself. How soon does it lay out? Well, that's going to all come to recruiting and sponsoring. And we're going to get into that and how it is, what makes it easy to sponsor people, how to sponsor people, what kind of qualifying people to sponsor. Those you don't want, how do you filter them out and focus on those that will buy? And so we did talk about in the other video the issue of trust. So we're going to set all this aside and we're focusing on you and trust. Remember, they'll know you and they'll like you and then they'll trust you. But the business is you. They don't buy from the company. They don't buy from the business. They buy you. It's just that simple. They buy you. Nothing else. They're not interested really. Well, some will be, of course. But when it comes down to it, sponsoring and to the business, people are buying from people. They'll be buying from you. They'll be buying you, actually. And I'm going to leave it right there because we're well beyond the time. And go to my contact page on my blog where this is at and just drop me a line or a note, 1 or 2 sentences. Yeah, I get it. And whatever else. Tell me how ugly I am, how beautiful I am, how increasingly stupid this all sounds, and what a ridiculous waste of time it might be. But you had nothing else to do, so you stayed tuned. Okay, here we go. I'm signing off. See you in the next video.